SpiritLife!
This is Bruce on SpiritLife. Welcome to the very first episode of B.O.W, Bit of Wisdom, the show where we explore truth that God has revealed in the natural world to teach us things about the spiritual world. I'm really excited because B.O.W also is the word for the limb of a tree. And for the next 3 episodes, we're going to be talking about how trees represent spiritual truths about people and our spiritual growth.
Last summer, a small tornado came through my hometown. I was thankful nothing serious happened to my family, but sadly the neighborhood was trashed. Some of the biggest, oldest trees had been toppled, and an entire swath of forest behind our neighbors was cleared. I was astonished to see some of the healthiest looking trees downed while others stood. But when I looked closer, many of the destroyed trees didn't actually have good roots. They were rotten and broken and could have been damaged long before it showed outwardly. God revealed to me that people are similar spiritually. No one can see the roots of our hearts, but they greatly affect our spiritual health. Most confusing, though, were the mighty trees that fell which did have good roots.
I wanted to invite my friend Sam Watley out to help explain what happened to the trees that blew over in that tornado. Sam is a professional forester, and he's an expert about tree health. So, Sam, I noticed that some of the trees looked like a dumbbell. They had this huge crown on the one side and then the trunk, and then on the other side was like a wall of dirt where all the roots had pulled up. Did they have bad roots, or what was going on? Why would they fall over?
Those roots are basically the same size as the crown of the tree, and they feed out into the ground, and of course they anchor the tree to the ground. And this particular tree that we're standing in front of right now is probably about 300 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's been here, and had this been grown in the middle of a field somewhere, as it got larger and the crown on the tree got bigger, that acts like a wind sail, and it would catch wind. And if it didn't have all these other trees here protecting it like it does in this natural forest that we're in, you would have possibly and more probably would have blown over. So the reason it acts like it's protected by these trees that surround it, as well as it protects them. It breaks wind, and so each one of these trees acts like a windshield for the other trees. And of course, their roots all interlace and not only hold the dirt in place and keep erosion from taking place, but it also they hold each other in place, and it keeps them from blowing over.
So they're like a little community that's helping out each other.
Exactly. These trees interceded underneath this tree. This tree was sitting here long before these other trees were here. And so what's happened is it actually acted as a protector for those trees, but now they all, as a community, they all hold each other together. This was probably farmland, probably 150 years ago.
Okay.
So that's what's
So
happened.
this was kind of just that one single tree by itself for a while.
That's exactly
and the
right.
others grew up.
That's correct.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sam.
You're welcome, man. All right. Boom.
Well, I didn't grow my beard out for nothing. I'm going lumberjack mode. I'm gonna go chop down a tree in my backyard that's leaning too far.
Let's do it.
We are called to be in a community with each other. You know, if there's a forest nearby, they all support each other by blocking out the wind. And a community of believers support each other by deflecting discouragements. We protect each other when hard times come up. When a storm comes up in life, we're able to protect each other, just like the wind can't get into the forest. A standalone tree is big and beautiful, but when they're all by themselves in a field, that's the first tree that'll topple in a windstorm, because they don't have the protection of all the other trees around them. And they're not doing their part by protecting other trees themselves. It's kind of like a Lone Ranger Christian. When you get isolated all by yourself, maybe on purpose because you've been hurt by others, so you isolate yourself. Maybe it's on purpose because you're full of pride. You know, we've all seen the superstar Christians. They seem like they're elite. We've heard of time and again where all these celebrity preachers fall into sin. They fall into greed, and they get caught in some sort of money scandal. or some sort of sexual immorality. When you don't have a group of Christians around you who can protect you from temptation by keeping you accountable, by checking in on you, seeing if you're doing okay, then you're so much more susceptible to falling.
To find out where I am, you're going to have to subscribe to SpiritLife and watch episode 2 of B.O.W. Be sure to leave your feedback. I'm really interested to hear your own tree metaphors in the comments below. Do you have a community that supports you the way I described? Let me know. And until next time, this is Bruce on SpiritLife.